Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the third installment of So You Think You Know Baseball, live from the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. It is our popular trivia game. We're very glad you could be with us today. This is a program that gives some of our loyal Hall of Fame fans a chance to show how much baseball they know. We've had some winners during the first 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll come up with maybe 3 winners today. That could very well happen. We want to thank everybody for joining us for this program. I'm actually in what's known as the Bud Selig Center at the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame has reopened. We reopened as of last Friday, so we're coming up on a week since we opened the doors. We were shut down for 103 days, which was really unprecedented in Hall of Fame history and really unprecedented for many businesses as well. Our contestants today are going to be competing to win family memberships to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Memberships give you unlimited admission to the museum throughout the year. You get Hall of Fame yearbooks, a subscription to our great magazine, Memories and Dreams, which comes out 6 times a year. Also discounts from our museum store and our website. Also lapel pins thrown in just for good measure. So lots of great benefits that come with being a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. We have 3 families that will be competing today. The first one, the Witchers. The second family, the Kesslers. And the third family, the Taylor family. But we are going to start with Kevin and Ryan. They are the Witchers. Guys, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. I have to say, I love your last name. People that know me here at the Hall of Fame know that in addition to loving baseball, I am a horror fan buff, and the movie The Witcher is definitely one of my favorites. I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard this reference, but I had to make a comment about that.
Yeah, just once or twice before.
Once or twice before. You guys aren't fans of horror, are you?
I love it. I think it's a great show.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
Terrific. And where are you guys from?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke, Virginia. Very good, very good. Have you ever been to the Hall of Fame before?
No, sir. Not yet.
Well, we hope to change that in the near future. And if you win that family membership, you'll have extra incentive to come to the museum because admission will be free for you and your family. So we have Kevin the father, we have Ryan the son, the Witcher family. Guys, are you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Just to review, we do have 3 lifelines that you can use as you try to answer 9 innings worth of multiple choice questions. First up, we have Poll the Participants, and that is where we take an informal poll of our studio audience members to see what their consensus on an answer might be. And people in the studio audience that want to help out, they can actually put the answers in to the Zoom group chat box if they think they know the correct answers. So that's one way that you can get a lifeline. Another lifeline comes to us through the 50-50 toss-up. That is where I will remove 2 of the wrong answers, leaving the contestants with 2 answers, 1 correct, 1 incorrect, therefore a 50-50 chance at guessing correctly. Then we have Call to the Bullpen. And that is where the contestants can ask one of our participating viewers to help with the answer. The viewers that want to try to help out, they have to hit the raise hand button on their computer screen to indicate they want to help. And then our contestants will choose from one of the other viewers, one of our studio audience members, to see if they can help out in answering the question. So those are the 3 lifelines. You don't have to use them in this order. They can be used in any order, and you can use multiple lifelines on a particular question, but you can only use 1 lifeline each for the course of the 9 innings. So 3 lifelines in total. All right, Kevin, Ryan, we move on. Our first inning question. Here we go. The category, Hall of Famers. Here's the question. Who are the 2 members of the National Baseball Hall of Fame's class of 2016? Were they Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, Pie Traynor and Cy Young, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza, or Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera? Those are your four choices. Kevin and Ryan, what do you think?
Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza.
All right, you sound pretty confident to me, Ryan. Kevin, you agree with that?
I do.
All right, so they're going to go with C, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza, the two members of the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2016. And are they correct? Let's see, the suspense building. Yes, they are correct. Obviously not Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. That was a long time ago. Similar for By Trainer and Cy Young. Derek Jeter, part of this year's class. Mariano Rivera, part of last year's class. So yes, the correct answer, C, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza. All right, take a deep breath, fellas. Always good to get past that first round question. Now we move on to the second inning of play. Our category, baseball lingo. What base is known as the keystone sack? Is it A, first base, B, second base, C, third base, or D, home plate?
Second.
Remember, you do have 3 lifelines. If you're not comfortable answering this by yourselves, which of these bases is known as the keystone sack? First base, second base, third base, or home plate?
Second base.
All right, so Ryan, after conferring, decides second base is the correct answer. Let's see if you're right. Of course you are. Second base is known as the keystone sack. Sometimes we'll refer to the second baseman and shortstop as the keystone combination or the double play combination. But yes, second base is the keystone sack. All right, how you feeling, fellas? Okay?
Yep, feeling
Yep.
good. Mhm.
Still relaxed?
No.
All right. Just another day at the ballpark, right? Here we go. Third inning. Category is hitters. Which New York Yankee led the American League in home runs in 2017? Was it A, Derek Jeter, B, Brett Gardner, C, Aaron Judge, or D, Luke Voigt?
Aaron Judge.
Ryan, very quick with that answer. And Kevin, you agree?
Yes, sir.
Going to go with C, Aaron Judge. Absolutely. That is the correct answer. Derek Jeter already retired by 2017. Brett Gardner has shown some power in recent years, but has never won the Yankee home run title, the team home run title. And Luke Voigt, the other option, but no, it was in fact C, Aaron Judge. If he's able to stay healthy, perhaps he'll be the home run leader for the Yankees in this shortened 2020 season. 3 innings up, 3 innings down. We now go to the 4th inning. The questions do get a little bit more difficult. Category is World Series. The question, what 2 teams played in the first modern World Series, which was held in 1903? Was it Detroit and Chicago, Cleveland and Cincinnati, Boston and Pittsburgh, or New York and Philadelphia? Which 2
Boston and
teams played in the
Pittsburgh.
first modern World Series held back in 1903?
Boston and Pittsburgh.
Boston and Pittsburgh. You remember that World Series pretty well, don't you?
Kind of.
Kind of, yes. Well, none of us were alive back then, I don't think. We've read about it, though. You say Boston and Pittsburgh. Let's see if you are correct. Yes. Boston. They were known alternately as either the Americans or the Pilgrims. Pittsburgh was generally known as the Pirates at that time, although team nicknames really didn't start to become formalized until later years. But it was Boston and Pittsburgh in that first ever World Series, modern World Series, held in 1903. All right, that's 4 innings. You have gotten 4 correct answers. You have not used any of your lifelines, so the Witcher family is in very good shape. We go to the 5th inning. Category, players. Here's the question. Who is the youngest player to ever start an All-Star game? Was it A, Al Kaline, B, Robin Yount, C, Joe Nuxhall, or D, Tim Raines? Kaline, Yount, Nuxhall, or Raines? Who was the youngest to start an All-Star game?
Robin Yount.
All right. Ryan says Robin Yount. Kevin, you agree with that?
I do.
All right. They are going to go with B, Robin Yount. Let us see if they are correct. Oh, unfortunately, it is not Robin Yount. He did enter the majors at a very young age, but Al Kaline was slightly younger when he started an all-star game.
Yeah.
So you got to the fifth inning, guys. You rolled through those first four questions very easily, but then the fifth turned out to be a little bit of a stumper. But we want to thank you for both playing. We do have a consolation prize that we're going to send your way. So make sure that you give us your mailing address. Did you guys have fun playing the game?
Oh, yes, sir. It was great.
All right. And who are you going to root for this season?
We're Ranger fans.
You like the Rangers. So you live in Virginia, but you become Rangers fans. That's interesting.
Yep. Washington Senators moved down there in 74. So I just chose them as my team a long time ago.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the Washington Senators did become the Texas Rangers. Ted Williams was Texas's first manager. Hard to believe. And you've been a Ranger fan ever since. Well, Kevin and Ryan, we want to thank you for playing. We do hope you enjoyed it. And we hope to see you at the Hall of Fame at some point in the near future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. So the Witchers got to the fifth inning. The questions, though, do get progressively a little bit more difficult. And that's what sometimes happens when we play So You Think You Know Baseball. All right, let's move now to our second team of participants. They are Seth and Miles. They are the Kessler family. Seth, Miles, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. Ready to go.
And where do you guys live?
We live in Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C.
Bethesda, Maryland. So you like the Nationals?
No.
No. You like the Orioles?
Red Sox fans, sorry.
Red Sox fans. Actually, I knew that because we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But interesting that you're going against the geography. Or how'd you guys become Red Sox fans?
I was born in Connecticut, went to college in Boston, and then my boys were born in Manhattan, but they were inspired / conceived because of the Red Sox first series win in modern history.
Ah, very good. Okay. Yes, that was a good season back in 2004, right?
And he was born in 2005.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, so we have Seth and Miles, the Kesslers from Bethesda, Maryland. You saw how the Witchers played that first game, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of the format, how it works. We are going to review the lifelines very quickly. Number one, you can poll the participants. We'll take an informal poll of our studio audience to see what their consensus might be. We can do a 50-50 toss-up where I eliminate two of the wrong answers, leaving you a 50% chance at guessing correctly. Or we can do the always helpful call to the bullpen, and that is where our contestants can ask one of our participating viewers to help with the answer. Viewers that want to take part in that have to hit the raise hand button to indicate they want to help. And then the Kesslers would choose who that person would be, and that person verbally would try to give them the correct answer. All right, guys ready to play?
Yep.
Here we go. Seth and Mile Kessler. Inning number one. Category is teams. Question, what is the nickname of Houston's major league team? Is it A, Oilers, B, Cougars, C, Astros, D, the Banshees?
The nickname? The name is the Astros.
Yeah.
What's the nickname of Houston's major league team? The Houston what?
Well, Astros is the name of the team.
All right, going to go with Astros. You don't want to go with Banshees, right?
No.
Astros is what you're going with, and that is the correct answer. Houston Astros. The Houston Oilers used to be an NFL team. Houston Cougars, that's a reference to the University of Houston, And Banshees I just made up, completely out of thin air. But you guys are correct. You had me scared for a moment. But yes, you did come up with Astros as the correct answer. All right, second inning question. Category, baseball history. After the 1935 season, the last of Babe Ruth's career, who was second on the all-time home run list behind the Babe and his 714 home runs? Was it A, Harry Heilman, B, Lou Gehrig, C, Derek Jeter, or D, the Mickey Mantle?
It was after the 1935 season, so that couldn't be Jeter, couldn't be Mantle.
Well, you know,
It had to, and Gehrig wasn't playing. What year did Gehrig play?
Just a reminder, you do have the 3 lifelines if you'd like to use them.
because if it eliminates.
We know it's not Jeter.
Obviously
it's not
not Jeter.
Mantle. And Lou Gehrig.
Wait, let's just do the 50-50. Yeah, let's just do that.
No, because second all-time home run list behind Babe in the 7th.
Let's just use the lifeline. Just be smart with it.
You want to use the lifeline?
No, I mean the 50-50.
A 50-50?
Yeah, just like.
You don't think it's Harry Heilman?
I have no idea who that is.
All right. After a long conference with my 15-year-old son, we're going to go with the 50-50 lifeline.
Okay. We're going to eliminate 2 answers, 2 wrong answers, obviously.
Okay.
So let's take away Harry Heilman
Okay.
and Derek Jeter, leaving us with either B, Lou Gehrig, or D, Mickey Mantle.
Wait, Lou Gehrig or Mickey Mantle, right? And Mickey Mantle played much later, so it'd have to be Lou Gehrig. It would have to be.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right, we're going to go with Lou Gehrig.
All right, they've talked it through. They're going to go with B, Lou Gehrig, as their final answer. Let's see if they're right. And yes, they are. It is the Iron Horse. Lou Gehrig, much of his career concurrent with Babe Ruth. Ruth debuted earlier in the majors with the Red Sox. Lou Gehrig a little bit later with the New York Yankees. They were teammates, though, for a number of years. So at the time of Ruth's retirement, Gehrig, number 2 on the home run list. Now, Miles admitted that he'd never heard of Harry Heilman. So, Miles, I have an assignment for you after we're done here.
Okay.
I want you to either go to the Hall of Fame website or find some kind of a baseball encyclopedia and look up Harry Heilman. He is a member of the Hall of Fame. He was a great hitter, more of a hitter for average than power, but he's definitely a guy you should learn about. All right?
Okay.
Okay, you agree you're going to do that. Very good.
Yes, I'll do.
All
I'll
right,
do
we move on. Third inning question. Category, World Series. The question, what 2 teams went from last place in 1990 to first place in 1991 and then met in that year's World Series? Was it A, Cincinnati and Oakland, B, Philadelphia and Cleveland, C, Pittsburgh and Toronto, D, Minnesota and Atlanta? Which of these groupings of teams is correct?
I was in college those years. I wasn't paying attention to baseball.
Let's do the lifeline.
I think we're going to do the lifeline.
Okay, you want to use another lifeline. So you've used the 50-50. We can poll the participants, take an informal survey, or we can do call to the bullpen, and that is where you rely, hopefully, on one very knowledgeable baseball fan to help you out. Which of those 2 lifelines would you like to use, guys?
The
Call.
because we have to save the call for.
All right, we're going to do the poll.
Okay, you want to poll the participants. So
Yes.
what we're going to do now is ask all the members of our studio audience, and we're going to just ask those who think they know the answer. Don't have to be 100% sure, but pretty sure that you know the answer. We want to give Seth and Miles a reliable sampling here. So which of these 2 teams went from last place in 1990 to 1991 and then met in the World Series? So go to the Zoom group chat, go to the chat function, the chat box, and that is where you'll need to type in your answers. Type in your answer if you think you know what is correct. Jim Casey says Minnesota and Atlanta. Sebastian Hermoso agrees. He goes with Minnesota and Atlanta as well. So far just 2 responding, but both like the Twins and the Braves. Let's see. Steve Paikin also agrees, Minnesota and Atlanta. Roger Pettinger Let me go back to Roger's answer, if I can find it in just a moment. Yep, Roger likes Minnesota and Atlanta. Max Thompson
Okay, so I was right.
says Minnesota and Atlanta, and he says 100%. And our survey is 100% at this point. Everybody that has responded agrees. Minnesota and Atlanta met in the 1991 World Series, and they went from last place to first place that season.
All
What do you
right.
think, guys?
Since Max looks so confident on the video there, I think we're going to have to go with his tip, Minnesota and Atlanta.
All right, well, Max is confident. Everybody else seems to agree with Max. So let's see if it's right. Who were the two teams that played in that 1991 World Series? Who was it? Yes, Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves, a classic 7-game series. The Twins ultimately winning it. Gene Larkin with a base hit to the outfield, driving in the winning run in extra innings, a classic game and a classic series without question. All right, 3 innings down. That's the good news. News that's not as good, you've used 2 of your lifelines. You have polled the participants. You've done the 50-50 toss-up. So you still have 1 lifeline remaining, and that is call to the bullpen. All right, gentlemen, we move to the 4th inning. Category, Hall of Famers. Question, which future Hall of Famer played for the San Diego Padres of the Pacific Coast League in 1936 and also in 1937? Was it A, Joe DiMaggio?
Where he's from.
Was it B,
Yeah.
Ted Williams? I'm sorry, B, Whitey Ford. Was that again, B, Whitey Ford? C, Ted Williams? Or D, Eddie Collins? All 4 Hall of Famers, but only one of them played for the minor league San Diego Padres back in 36 and 37. Seth, Miles, what do you think?
I'm confident enough.
Ted Williams.
All right, you sound
He's
very
from
confident.
San Diego. We're pretty confident that's where he played.
Ted Williams, San Diego Padres, not the major league team, but the minor league team. Is that correct? Let's see. It sure is. Ted Williams did play in the minor leagues with the PCL's San Diego Padres. Good job, guys. 4 innings down, 5 innings remain. Let's see what happens as we move on. 5th inning was the trouble inning for the Witcher family. Let's see if the Kesslers can avoid trouble here. Players is the category. The question, which is the only father and son combination to each win the All-Star Game MVP award? Was it Gus and Buddy Bell? Was it B, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr., C, Bob and Brett Boone, or D, Yogi and Dale Berra? Which of these 4 combinations, father and son,
I think it's
only one where both won the MVP award in the All-Star Game? What do you
We're
think,
gonna go to
guys?
Griffey's.
I'm sorry, say that again, Miles.
Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr.
Going to go with the Ken Griffey family. Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. Let's see. Are you correct? Absolutely. Yeah, they were the only ones to do it. Now, all these other groups, these are all legitimate baseball families. We didn't make any of these names up. You have the Bells, the Boones, the Berras, but it was the Griffey, the only one to win 2 All-Star Game MVP awards, 1 for the father and 1 for the son. All right, the Kesslers seem to be getting stronger as the questions get harder. Guys, let's move on. 6th inning. Category players. The question, who is the oldest player to appear in a big league game? A, Satchel Paige. B, Jim O'Rourke. C, Carl Yastrzemski. Or D, Minnie Mignoso. Page, O'Rourke, Yaz, or Mignoso? Which of the 4 is the oldest player to appear in a major league game?
It's not Yaz.
Right.
I've never heard of Jim O'Rourke. Satchel Paige.
Satchel Paige makes sense
pitched
because I remember
really.
he pitched late in his career because he converted from the Lingo leagues late in his career, so that would be like the logical.
So either we go with Satchel Paige, and Minnie Minosa
This was later.
played late too, but
I think it's Satchel.
I would say Satchel Paige, or we ask.
Just a reminder, you do have the 1 lifeline remaining. You can do the call to the bullpen, and that is where 1 hopefully knowledgeable studio audience member will give us some help. or you can go with what you think might be the right answer.
All right, we're gonna save our lifeline and go with Satchel Paige.
Okay, so they hope that lifeline is going to be needed. And if they get this answer correctly, they may need that lifeline in the next 3 innings. The Kesslers say the oldest player to ever appear in a big league game, Satchel Paige. And they are absolutely correct. Good job, guys. Not an easy question. A lot of people would get stuck between Paige and Mignoso, because Mignoso did come back in the late 70s at a much older age. But it was Satchel Paige, age 59, pitched 1 game for the Kansas City Athletics back in 1965. He actually came out of the bullpen for Haywood Sullivan, the manager, and he pitched 3 shutout innings against the Red Sox.
Wow.
He was not that far away from birthday number 60. Pretty amazing achievement. All right, you guys are doing well. You're 2/3 of the way there. You have answered 6 questions correctly. You have used 2 lifelines, but you do have the call to the bullpen remaining. Let's move on. 7th inning time. The category, baseball music. Who is mentioned in both songs? Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel and We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. Is it A, Babe Ruth, B, Joe DiMaggio, C, John McGraw, or D, Ted Williams? So 2 popular songs, Mrs. Robinson, We Didn't Start the Fire, both mention this particular player. Hall of Famer. They're all Hall of Famers on this list right here. Is it Ruth, Joe D, John McGraw, or the splinter Ted Williams?
I'm 100% confident, and my wife will never believe I got a pop culture question correct, but Joe DiMaggio.
All right, so you're music fans then. You know this.
I don't know anything about any pop culture, so the fact that I know this is incredible.
Okay. But you've heard these songs, right?
I've heard these songs. I can even sing them if you gave me an extra point or 2, but
Unfortunately, the laws will not allow me to do such a thing, but I can tell you this, you're absolutely right. It is Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio.
all right, 2 more innings. We got
Mentioned
this.
by both Simon and Garfunkel and Billy Joel in 2 very popular
I know both songs.
All right. Miles, did you know that answer?
Not at all.
Not at all. Have you ever heard of Simon and Garfunkel and Billy Joel?
I've heard of them like as artists, but these songs specifically just haven't come up.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
If they had more illicit lyrics, he would have heard of them. He's 15.
Very good. Very good. All right. 2 innings to go. 1 lifeline remaining. Things are getting tense here. Let's move. 8th inning. The category, players. The question, what number did 3'7" Eddie Goodell wear on his St. Louis Browns uniform when he came to bat August 19th of 1951? What number did he wear? Was it the fraction 3/5? Was it the fraction 1/8? Was it 37 or was it 0?
Well,
3/5, 1/8, 37, or 0.
so we're pretty confident it's not the fractions.
No, let's just call it a bullpen.
But if there's any, do we get to see if anyone's confident before we ask for this, or if we ask and nobody
no,
knows?
you need to make that decision before.
No, let's just go. Yeah, call to the
I just
bullpen.
want to go on the record. But
All right, Miles
All right,
is picking what I think is a smart approach.
Yeah.
That's using the lifeline if you need it. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask our studio audience members who think they know the right answer. We're going to ask you to hit the raise hand button on your computer screen. And then we're going to have the Kessler family call on one of those people, whoever they think might be confident
Jody
and
put a
correct in coming up with a correct answer.
thumbs
Okay,
up.
let's do that.
Okay. So you see some people with their thumbs up?
Yeah.
We saw one. We saw a thumbs up and a hand up by Jody, which makes us feel very confident.
All right. You want to call on Jody?
Well, we've only got 2 options, and she's one of them. And and Joe also has a thumbs up, and Eric, and Jody. Oh, Jody took her hand down though.
Okay, that just
Oh,
We
wait,
have
but now
5
Max is.
okay.
participants
Just,
who have
just
raised their
we're gonna
hand.
go with Jody. Thank you.
We're gonna go with Jody. It's like the SATs. You go with your first guess.
All
We're
right,
gonna go with
so
Jody
if we could turn Jody's microphone on.
and camera.
Jody, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are you Jody?
I am Jody. I am not a she, however.
Okay. You're not
Yeah.
Jody Davis, former catcher for the Cubs, are you?
No, that is incorrect.
Okay. That's the only Jody I could think of in terms of baseball. All right, Jody, where are you from?
Jody, we're counting on you, Jody.
Well, I'm going to say I'm a fellow Marylander. I'm in Eldersburg or Sykesville, Maryland, so I'll happily help these Bethesda folks, even though they're Red Sox fans. I'll do that again.
All right, very good, Jody. What do you think is the correct answer? Is it A, 3/5, B, 1/8, C, 37, or D, 0?
I am 100% confident that it is B, 1/8.
Okay, Jody is 100% confident. No such thing as 110%. He's 100%. That's the maximum. Jody likes 1/8 as the uniform number for Eddie Goodell back in 1951. All right, Jody, we thank you for your contribution. You're confident. Let's see if you're correct. But let's first ask the Kesslers, are you going to go with what Jody says?
Look, he's 100% confident. We got to take that. We're
Yeah,
gonna go with this recommendation.
All right, they're going to go with 1/8, which is what Jody said. And yes,
Okay.
Jody was right. Seth and
nice,
Miles
Jody.
are therefore correct as well.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
Eddie Goodell wore a fraction on the back of his uniform. This actually would not be allowed in baseball today. You can only use whole numbers, 0, 00, 1, all the way up to 99. No triple figure numbers, no fractions, no decimals allowed. But in 1951, Bill Veeck came up with 1/8 as the uniform number for 3'7" Eddie Goodell, his lone appearance in a major league game. All right, 3 lifelines have all been consumed, but we have just 1 inning to get through. Seth and Miles will have to do it on their own. Guys, are you ready to play the 9th inning?
Ready.
Yep.
Sweating
All right.
and all.
Here we go. We'll start with a category, players. Here's the question. Which 2 players have represented a record 5 different teams in the All-Star game? Is it A, Octavio Dotel and Don Sutton, B, Bobby Bonds and Dave Kingman, C, Moises Alou and Gary Sheffield, or D, Ivan Rodriguez and Roberto Alomar? Which of these 2 players, which of these groups of 2 players have represented a record 5 different teams in the All-Star game?
5 in total or
Both
5
players,
each?
both players in the answer, they would have each played for 5 different teams in a Midsummer Classic. What do you think, guys?
All right, give us a moment.
Okay,
I've never heard of it.
we have some time, no rush here.
I'm not even. How did you know he was on the
I thought he was also
Got some
on-
Hall of Famers, some non-Hall of Famers mixed in.
5 teams considering
All of these players, though, well-traveled.
same thing?
All of them well-traveled.
No way.
Kingman was on a lot of teams.
But of these 4, only one grouping
I just don't know these
had
combos.
had both players playing for 5 different teams.
Over Gary Sheffield, do you think so? 5 teams?
I don't know. who Gary Sheffield-
I think it was Dave Kingman and Bobby Bonds.
Okay, that's unfair.
I mean, Dave Kingman played on a lot of teams.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You want to go with that?
Yeah, let's go.
Because I don't know the other ones.
Yeah.
All right, so we took out option 1. And
Took away
Miles took,
Dotel and Sutton.
they're out. We took out Rodriguez and Alomar.
Okay.
And we narrowed it down to Bonds and Kingman and Alou and Sheffield. If we'd done this yesterday on Miles' birthday, we would have gone with his. But since it's not his birthday anymore, we're going with mine. So we're going with Bobby Bonds and Dave Kingman.
Okay, so you're going to go with Bobby Bonds and Dave Kingman. I have to ask, is that your final answer?
Yeah. Yes.
It
Yes,
is
let's
your
do it.
final answer. Let's see if it's the correct answer.
That's-
Let's bring it up.
I can't look.
Oh, you were so close.
Oh,
You had it down to a final two. You had one of the correct answers, Alou in Sheffield, but you decided to go in the other direction, Bonds and Kingman.
Oh.
So unfortunately, you didn't get all the way through. However, we do have consolation prizes for you, and you guys did a great job just getting through to the ninth inning. Given the difficulty of these late inning questions, is a pretty good accomplishment. So we want to congratulate you on that. Did you guys have fun playing?
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
thanks.
All right, that's right. Seth and Miles. Now, just like I mentioned with the Witcher family, I've got to ask you about your last name, the Kessler family. I'm a big fan of the show Seinfeld. The popular character, Cosmo Kramer, played by Michael Richards. But in the very first episode of the show, his name was not Kramer, it was Kessler.
Yep.
You probably knew that.
We actually did. I was
did
on
know
the
it.
set of Seinfeld many years ago.
All right, sounds good. We should do a Seinfeld quiz one of these weeks. Guys, thanks for playing. Thanks for doing a great job. Seth and Miles Kessler from Maryland. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right. Well, they got as far as you could go, just coming up short of a victory. They had it down to 2 answers, 1 correct, 1 incorrect, and they just went in the opposite direction, but came very, very close.
Okay.
All right, we do have one more set of contestants, and actually somewhat of a local family. They are from the Clinton, New Hartford, New York region, about an hour from here in Cooperstown, and their names are Jim and Jack Taylor. Jim and Jack, welcome, fellas. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Bruce?
Good. Now, Jim, I see that you work at Hamilton College.
That's correct.
And I have to point out that that is the finest college in the country. The reason I say that is because I went there. I graduated in 1987. They didn't kick me out, but I did graduate legitimately.
Oh,
It is a good school. I'm sure some will disagree with my assessment that it's the best. I may be biased there. What do you do at the college, Jim?
I'm the sports information director in the athletics department.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. And what are you hearing about the possibility of Hamilton being back on campus in the fall?
Right now, they've said that students will be back on campus. Whether or not we do athletics in the fall sports season, that's still up in the air.
Okay. All right. How long have you been on the job?
I started working there in the summer of 2003.
Wow. So you've been there a while.
Quite a long time now.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. You must know Ben Madonia.
I sure do.
Yeah. Ben's a good man. Yeah.
Yes, he
Always
is.
helpful whenever I go back to the alma mater.
Very
He
good.
conveniently forgets all the trouble I made on campus from 83 to 87, but that's another story. How about you, Jack? How old are you, Jack?
I'm 13.
13. Do you go to Hamilton? I think you're probably too young.
Not yet.
Where do you go to school?
Maybe someday. I go to Perry. It's the middle school in New Hartford.
Okay, New Hartford, New York. Now, there's a famous major league player, former player from New Hartford. You know who that is?
Yeah. Is it Andy? Andy Van Slyke?
Yes.
Excellent. Yes. Andy Van Slyke is from New Hartford, where you guys live.
Yep.
Not far from New Hartford is Whitesboro, and a guy that I know, Mark
Oh,
Lemke, used to play with the Atlanta
the World
Braves.
Series.
He is from Whitesboro, and his parents, I believe, still
MVP?
live there as
World
well.
Series?
All right, Jim and Jack, you've seen our first 2 teams of contestants. The Witchers got through to the 5th inning. The Kesslers got through to the 9th inning. So you've seen how they've used lifelines. You've seen the way the formatting goes.
Yep.
You guys ready to play so you think you know baseball?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
All right, here we go. Jim and Jack Taylor, quick review of the 3 lifelines. You can poll the participants. We'll do an informal poll of our audience members to see if there's a consensus. We can do the 50-50 toss-up where I eliminate 2 of the wrong answers. Or we can do the call to the bullpen, which was helpful in the last game. And that is where the contestants can ask one of the participants in the studio audience to help out. Viewers must hit the raise hand button to indicate they want to help, and then our contestant will then choose one of those studio audience members to try to help out with that question. So we have Jim and Jack Taylor from New Hartford, New York, home of Andy Van Slyke at one time. Let's go to the first inning. The question, well, the category first is stadiums. Now the question, what is the current name of the home ballpark of the Miami Marlins? Is it A, Miami Beach Ballpark, B, Marlins Park, C, the Orange Bowl, or is it D, Fish Fry Stadium?
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
All right, Marlins Park. Final
All
answer.
right, Jack sounds confident. Going with Marlins Park. I was really hoping you would say Fish Fry Stadium because I love that name. It's not a real name of a ballpark, and it's not the correct answer here. You are correct, though. It is Marlins Park. You came up with the right answer, Jack. Well done. Good start. First inning is over and done with. All right, Jim and Jack, we move on. Second inning question. The category is records. Which player holds the record for the highest career batting average? Is it A, Ty Cobb, B, Wade Boggs, C, George Sisler, or D, Charlie Gehringer? All four are Hall of Famers, but only one has the highest career batting average.
We're going to go with Ty Cobb.
All right, they're going to go with A, Ty Cobb, over Wade Boggs, George Sisler, and Charlie Gehringer. Are they correct? Of course they are. Ty Cobb batted .366 lifetime. At one point, it was thought that he had a .367 batting average, but a point got taken away when they reviewed box scores and statistical summaries. .366 lifetime average, that is the highest. Ty Cobb has it. And Jim and Jack are rolling. 2 innings up, 2 innings down. We move to the third. The category is players. Question. Who is the only American League player to, I'm sorry, I've got to move my, unfortunately, I had a little bit of a technical problem there. I actually gave you the answer. Who is the only American League player to record at least 100 stolen bases in a season? You knew this answer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
knew.
knew it was D, Ricky Henderson, even though I accidentally pressed the wrong button there. We got to work on our technology here. Specifically, we have to work on the person handling the technology, which is me right now. Yes, D, Ricky Henderson is the correct answer. Only American League player to record at least 100 stolen bases in a season. Vince Coleman did it in the National League. I'm not sure if
Right.
Kenny Lofton ever did. I don't think he did, and I know Bert Campaneris did not. But the answer is Ricky Henderson, only American leaguer to do so, 100 stolen bases in a season. All right, so I gave you a little bit of help there, but you knew the answer anyway, so no harm, no foul. Let's move on. Fourth inning question. Category, baseball records. Which player holds the record for most appearances by a catcher in a career? Is it A, Carlton Fisk, B, Bill Freehand, C, Ivan Rodriguez, or D, Benito Santiago? Which of these four holds the record most appearances by a catcher in a major league career? We have 2 Hall of Famers, Fisk and Rodriguez, and 2 non-Hall of Famers, but both very good catchers who played a long time, Freehand and Santiago. What do you think, guys?
What do you want to do? You want to use one of the lifelines?
Which one do you want to use? Should we use the whatever the chat one is?
You can do poll the participants. That is where people can actually
Yeah, we'll do
sign
that
in
one.
to Zoom group chat. You want to use that one?
Yes, please.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask the members of our studio audience, if you think you know the answer, go to the chat room, the chat box. It's a white box, and at the top it says Zoom group chat. and there you can type in your answer if you're confident.
Rodriguez.
Which of these players holds the record most appearances by a catcher in a career? Is it Fisk, Freehan, Rodriguez, or Santiago? So let's see what people might think. Getting a couple of answers. Max Thompson says Ivan Rodriguez. Eric McDowell says Ivan Rodriguez. The other Pudge, yeah, both actually nicknamed Pudge, Fisk and Rodriguez.
I know Fisk had it.
Seeing lots of Rodriguez. Jody says, I know Fisk held it. Rodriguez may have passed him, though.
I think he did.
Max Thompson, Rodriguez. Mary Claire, Rodriguez. Seems like Rodriguez, virtually 100%.
I think we're gonna agree.
Yep.
You're going to agree that it's Pudge, Ivan Rodriguez. Going to go with what the studio audience says. Are they correct? Of course they are. It is Ivan Rodriguez, Hall of Famer. He holds the record for most appearances by catcher in a major league career. All right, fourth inning complete. One lifeline has been used. You do still have two remaining. You have the 50-50 toss-up, and you have the call to the bullpen. All right, Jim and Jack, let's go on. Fifth inning. Questions do get progressively tougher. The category is All-Star games. Will not be an All-Star game this year. Which city, though, hosted the All-Star game and had the largest attendance in Midsummer Classic history? Is it A, New York, B, Los Angeles, C, Cleveland, or D, Chicago?
Do you have to use another lifeline, or do you know this?
I want to say Cleveland because the old stadium sat so many people, like because they used the football stadium, it sat like 60, 70,000 people.
Did they have one there?
Had to have.
Just a reminder, fellas, you do have the two lifelines if you're not sure of the answer, just to think about it.
You want to do 50-50?
I almost feel
No.
like we should, or is it too early? But I guess there won't be another question if we don't get it.
You are correct, Jack.
The other three are big cities, though. I feel like Cleveland might be. I don't know. Should we do Cleveland or 50-50?
You're still thinking it over?
What do you want to do?
I want to go 50-50 just to be sure.
All right.
All
I
right,
guess we'll
Jack,
do 50-50.
Jack wants to take the conservative approach, and that's not a bad policy in this game. They want to do the 50-50, so that's where I'm going to eliminate two of the wrong answers, leaving one incorrect and one correct answer. So let us take away from the board New York and Los Angeles. Let's take away New York City and Los Angeles, leaving
Degree isn't
either
very
C,
big.
Cleveland or D,
At
Chicago
least not Comiskey, so
as the correct answer.
that's all right. I wanted to be sure.
We're going to go with Cleveland.
All right, Jim and Jack, they sound pretty confident that of these two, it is Cleveland. The Indians used to play at Municipal Stadium. It had a capacity of over 80,000 fans, and that is the correct answer. It was Cleveland. The year was 1981, the strike year, and as I recall, after the strike ended, the first event that took place was the All-Star Game in Cleveland, Ohio. Do you remember that, Jack?
Nope.
No? Not old enough?
Nope.
No? How about you, Jim? Do you remember that?
I remember the strike, but I don't remember the
Yeah.
All-Star.
That was a tough year to be a baseball fan. There wasn't much going on in the middle of the season, and then we picked things up, I believe, in mid-July, if I'm not mistaken, and they did play the season out to a conclusion. That's something we're all hoping can happen in 2020. All right, you got through it. 5 innings down, 4 innings remaining. You've used 2 lifelines, but you have 1 remaining, and that is the call to the bullpen if you need it. Let's go to the 6th inning. The category is pitchers. Here's the question. Who was the first pitcher to win the Cy Young Award and the MVP award in the same season? A, Warren Spahn, B, Don Newcomb, C,
See the
Bob
first.
Gibson,
Did any of them?
or
Gotta
D,
go.
Mike
Got it.
Marshall?
Have to now.
Did
I don't
any?
want to. I
I
don't want
know.
to use up all the.
I know, but did anyone
lifelines.
play before him? Like, are there any options?
Yeah. I mean,
Well, who cares? We'll go Gibson, right?
oh,
They're talking it over. One lifeline remaining. Do the call to the bullpen.
He's like a
If you think you know the answer, if you're pretty sure, you may want to just go with that.
It's really
Not
hard.
sure, that lifeline is out there for you to use.
It's really hard for a pitcher.
I think I want to save the lifeline.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure it's Bob Gibson. I'm hoping it's not Don Newcomb, though. We're going with Gibson.
All right. Jack, you agree with that?
Yeah.
You're going to go with that. All right. So they're going to go with what did you say? Bob Gibson, right?
Going with Bob Gibson,
They're
yes.
going to go with B, Bob Gibson, Hall of Famer for the St. Louis Cardinals. They believe he's the first pitcher to win the Cy Young and the MVP in the same season. Let's see if that is correct. Let's bring up the correct answer. Oh, sorry, guys. It was Don Newcomb. And Jim, you had mentioned Newcomb. You were thinking possibly him. And it was Newcomb who did it for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Won the Cy Young Award and the MVP award in the same season. He was the first to do so. Tough question. Not an easy one. Had the lifeline. Might have been helpful. We don't know for sure. But you guys did well. You got through to the sixth inning. Did you enjoy playing today?
Yes, we
Definitely.
did.
All right, good. And how are you guys occupying yourself this summer?
Doing a lot of things outdoors.
A lot of things outdoors, yes. Looking forward to Hamilton College, quite possibly reopening its campus in the fall. Brings back memories of when I was there from 1983 to 1987. Jim and Jack, thanks for playing. It's been a pleasure to have you. Good job. Sorry that you didn't win, but we do have a consolation prize that we can send your way. Thanks for being with us.
All right. Thanks for having us, Bruce.
All right. Thank you. Jim and Jack Taylor from New Hartford, New York. So we had 3 competitors today. All the teams did well. 2 of the teams, or one team got through to the 5th inning. Our last team, the Taylors, got through to the 6th inning. Our middle team, the Kesslers, got through to the 9th inning. So we don't give away any grand prizes, which is a family membership to the Hall of Fame. But we do have some consolation prizes to send to the Witchers, the Kesslers, and the Taylors. By the way, if you'd like to support the Baseball Hall of Fame, we are certainly happy to have that support. If you'd like to become an individual member of the Hall of Fame, it only costs $50 for the entire year. Comes with personalized membership card, subscription to Memories and Dreams, our magazine, a Hall of Fame yearbook. You get complimentary admission to the museum for 1 full year. And yes, the museum is reopened as of last week. Also, you get discounts and free shipping on purchases from our museum store, and you get a member lapel pin as well. It all comes with becoming a member of the Hall of Fame. If you'd like to do that, we'd love to have you. Go to baseballhall.org and click on to the membership tab and join up. Be part of the Hall of Fame team. All right, that's going to do it for our trivia, so you think you know baseball. Want to remind you that our next program is coming up next week after the 4th of July weekend. It'll be on Tuesday, July 7th at a different time of 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And at 2 p.m., it's Virtual Voices of the Game. We're going to talk to the president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, Tim Mead. He worked for the Angels franchise for many years and then joined the Hall of Fame last year. So actually 2 years ago, I should say. Tim Mead will be joining us, president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And that'll be coming up our next Virtual Voices of the Game, Tuesday, July 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here from the Bud Selig Center. Thank you to all 3 of our teams of contestants. We want to thank our studio audience for doing a great job as well. We do hope you enjoyed our trivia game, So You Think You Know Baseball. A reminder, the Hall of Fame is open Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thanks for being with us. Have a great day, everybody.